Hey, good morning everyone and welcome to your channel Learn Data Science with Pranjal. In this knowledge video, we'll continue discussing our hypothesis testing, which we have discussed in some of our previous earlier videos. But in this knowledge video, we'll keep our hypothesis discussion specific to our chi-square test. The chi-square test is also known as your test of independence or the goodness of fit test. Like any other hypothesis testing, in chi-square test also, we have a concept of a null hypothesis and the alternate hypothesis. But unlikely in our t-test and z-test, we cannot change our null hypothesis in chi-square. In chi-square, the null hypothesis is fixed. And since the null hypothesis is fixed, therefore the alternate hypothesis is also fixed. The null hypothesis in chi-square is that there is no relationship between two variables, and these two variables are generally categorical variables. So they are not numeric and continuous, but they are categorical. And since the null is, there is no relationship between the two variables, the alternate is just opposite of it, that there is a relationship between two variables. And the way we decide is same. If the p-value or the probability value is less than 0.05, we will reject our null. Otherwise, we will go with a. Let's take one example and try understanding our chi-square test in a little better way. So this is an example which I am taking. I am saying owner of a hotel wants to find the relationship between the customer satisfaction and the wages given to the waiter. Owner does a random sampling on some 100 customers, categorizing the service as excellent, good or poor. He also categorizes salary as high, medium and low. So let's assume that you are an owner or you are a manager in a hotel, and since you are a manager, you definitely know the wages you are paying to your staff member or to the waiters. And then you take the feedback from the customers. So the customers come to your restaurant, they have food, they have refreshments, and then you take the feedback from those customers regarding the waiters which serve them. And the feedback is taken in form of excellent, good and poor. So one thing to keep in mind is that over here excellent, good and poor is nothing but a categorical data. And similarly, you are measuring the salary not in actual dollar amount or rupee amount, but in categories, that is your high, medium and low. So both the variables, service provided and the salary paid, are categorical in nature. So it's a fit case to run our chi-square test. So this is a table which I have drawn, which we are getting after doing a survey. So in the columns you can see it's written low, medium and high, and on the rows it is written excellent, good and poor. So the numbers which are marked in slight yellow are the original numbers which you are getting or the manager gets after doing the survey. And then we have our column total and the row total. So let's quickly take, so we can see a 9 written over here. So this 9 means that there are 9 staff members who are getting low paid, but they are having excellent, they are giving excellent service. 10 refers to the number of staff members who are medium paid but giving excellent service. And this 3, the number 3 is the staff members who are highly paid but they are giving poor service. And then we have our row total. So 26, 51, 23. So 26 is the number of staff members who are giving excellent service. 51 is number of staff members who are giving good service, and 23 is who are giving poor service. And similarly, we have column total for low, medium and high. That is your 32, 27 and 41. And 100 is our grand. So we already have the data after the survey. Now let's do our calculation. So for each given value, we will find our expected value. So what is the expected value? Expected value is nothing but, I have written the formula, that is row total into column total divided by grand total. So 9. So expected value for 9 would be 26 into 32 divided by 100. And similarly for 10, 7, everything. For each number I have calculated my expected value. So expected value is your row total into column total divided by grand total. And before doing our calculation and everything, let's discuss what would be a null hypothesis and what would be our alternate hypothesis over here. The null hypothesis in chi-square test is that there is no relationship between two variables. If we extrapolate the same null hypothesis for this example, then we will say that there is no relationship between salary paid and the service offered by the waiter. And the alternate would be that there is a relationship between salary paid and the service offered by the waiter. We already have the data after the survey, so which is our original data, and now let's do a calculation and then we'll compare our given data and the calculated. So these are my expected value, that is 8.32, 7.02, 8.10.66. So what I have done is I have created another 3 by 3 table which contains these expected values. So you can see that I have written the same thing, 8.32, 7.02, 10.66. Now I will apply this formula, observed minus expected whole square divided by expected. So this formula would remain as 9 minus 8.32 into 9 minus 8.32. So we already know 8.32, and some people might be thinking, what is this 9? So this 9 is nothing but your given value. So you can see the 9 over here. So 9, and then you have your 8.32. Similarly, this 7.02 is mapped to your 10. And let me take one more example. 10.66 is mapped to your 7. So I am applying observed minus expected whole square divided by expected. So these numbers I am getting after applying this formula. So I am putting these numbers in the next. So this is a table I am getting after applying the formula observed minus expected whole square divided by expected. And now only thing which I have to do is I have to take the summation. So I'll add all these 9 numbers, and after adding all these 9 numbers I get the answer as 18.65. Now I have to compare this with my given value. So the given value would already be given to you, and if it's not given, then probably we can see from the chi-square table. I'll also tell you how to see the chi-square table. So at 0.05 significance, so this 0.05 significance implies that there is a 5% error and 95% confidence. 4 degree of freedom, the chi-square value is 9.48. So we have to compare our result with 9.48. Our calculated value is 18.65, and I have written that calculated value is more than the given value, and chi-square test is always a right tail test. So calculated value is more than the given value, and since chi-square test is a right tail test, what we will do, we will reject the null because it will fall in the critical region. And since we are rejecting the null, we will go with alternate. And alternate hypothesis was that there is a relationship between salary paid and the service offered. So probably if you want to increase the customer satisfaction, you need to pay some attention, or somewhere you need to keep in mind the salary which you are paying to your staff members. So let's quickly discuss how to see a chi-square table. For seeing the chi-square table, we only need 2 things. One is our error margin and another is our degree of freedom. So error margin definitely you will always know, because if you are working for retail, banking, insurance, for every domain, for every industry, for every project, the cutoff is always there. You always know their error margin, at how much error margin the company or the organization is working. So you would always know that. Only thing is how to calculate the degree of freedom. Degree of freedom calculation is very easy. Degree of freedom calculation is number of rows minus 1 into number of columns minus 1. So it is 3 by 3 table. So in 3 by 3 table, degree of freedom would be number of rows are 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2, and number of columns are again 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So 2 into 2 is 4. Keep one thing in mind, that we are multiplying n minus 1 with k minus 1, and we are not adding it. So that is why in 2 by 2 table, the degree of freedom would always be 1, because it would be 2 minus 1 into 2 minus 1, that would be 1. So now we know that our error margin is 5% and degree of freedom is 4. Let's see our chi-square table. So I have got this type of representation in front of me. So basically this table I have taken from the Google. Go to the Google and just say chi-square table, and we get this type of table. So how to see this table? So over here, this D is nothing but your degree of freedom. This is your degree of freedom. On the downside, you have degree of freedom. And if you see from left to right, you have error margin. So this 0.05 is nothing but your error margin, and then you have degree of freedom. So this is nothing but my 9.488, and the same value I have put in my PPT. Okay. So you choose your degree of freedom. So this is, if you travel from top to down, you see your degree of freedom, and if you travel from left to right, you see your error margin. Now let's quickly see how to do a chi-square test in Python. Okay. So I have already written a certain amount of code in interest of saving the time. So let's read a file. So this is a file and it has two columns, service and salary. So this example is the same example which I have discussed in the PowerPoint presentation. And if I create a cross table, so when I'm creating a cross table, probably you will see that this is the table which we have already discussed in our PPT, which we have already discussed. If I can show you quickly. So this is the same 9, 10, 7, 11, 19, 31. This is the same table we are having over here. Then what I'm doing, I'm saying scipy.stats, import your chi2 contingency, and this takes your table 1 as your input. This takes your table 1 as input and it returns me certain things. It returns me chi-square stat, chi-square stat. It returns me p-value, which is a p-value comparison, degree of freedom, and the expected value. So if you can see that we are getting the same result, the chi-square stat 18.658. So the same thing we have calculated over there. We have done the same calculation and we were getting the same thing, 18.65. The similar value we are getting, and we are getting the p-value as this much, degree of freedom is 4, and this is the final table 10.66, 8.32, 7.08. So we were getting the same table while we did a manual calculation. So this same table 8.32 and all those things we were getting. Okay. And since the basic focus, so it is returning me 4 values, but the basic focus should be on your p-value. P-value is less than 0.05, so there is no other option but to reject the null. Now the same chi-square can also be used for your feature selection. Let's quickly discuss how can we do our feature selection. So for feature selection, we just have to extrapolate the way we are using our chi-square test. So in chi-square test, we are saying that there is no relationship between two variables. And if we reject the null, then we say that there is a relationship between two variables. And if I want to use this concept for feature selection, then only thing which we need to keep in mind is that out of these two variables, let pass one of them as my x or the independent variable and another as y or the dependent variable. And if we are able to reject the null, it means there is a relationship between x and y. And since y is a function of x and there is a relationship between x and y, then I can say that x is a significant variable or a significant feature. So to showcase the same thing, what I'm doing is I'm reading one of the file which have taken in previous number of examples. So this is the file, and over here let me quickly discuss. So loan status, your y and n is my target variable, and let's try to find which features can be important, which cannot be, or which features are rather important and which are not important. So what I'm doing is I am after do your data cleaning, data preparation, so which I am not showcasing over here because this is already covered in some earlier videos. Now what I'm doing is I'm creating a user defined function. In this user defined function, I will pass two columns, call x and call y. I have already read the file, call x and call y. So while reading the file, now I have created a user defined function. Now what I'm doing is I'm passing a two columns, credit history and loan status. So credit history is one of the columns. If I can quickly show you credit history. So 1 means that your credit history is good and 0 means that your credit history is bad. Let me show you top some 20 records. So in credit history we have either 0 or 1. In credit history we either have 0 or 1. So 0 means your credit history is bad and 1 means your credit history is good. Let's see that is credit history a significant feature. So I give a call to my function and I get this type of output. I am saying since the p-value is less than 0.05, variable is significant. So credit history seems to be significant. Let's test this with some another variable. Let me take another column, that is our, let's say, gender column, which contains either male or female. So let me pass this thing. So I'll not change my loan status because loan status is my target variable. Let me quickly change this column, cr.gender. And I get the message since the p-value is greater than 0.05, variable is not significant. So similarly, I can run the test for whichever column I may be interested in, and I will quickly find it out which variables are significant and which variables are. So this gets us to the end of this knowledge video, and I hope people would enjoy this video. And this video has given the complete understanding what your chi-square test is, what is the exact math behind the chi-square test, how it exactly works, how to see the chi-square from the table, and implement it in your Python. This video has also given us the knowledge how it can be used for a feature selection or the importance. Hope to see you soon in my next video. Till that time, happy learning. Thank you.